Right, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called "The Last Days, the Passion and Death of Jesus Christ" with Jonathan Roumie. I have no idea who Jonathan Roumie is, but the interesting thing about this is Jonathan Roumie is buffed. He's even flexing his chest muscles while he's suffering at the cross, being tortured and murdered by the Roman army. Here we go. 58 minutes. The Last Days, the Passion and Death of Jesus the Christ. It's a film presentation of a live theatrical production. It's actually a passion play, which my great grandfather and my great grandmother used to do in Germany before Hitler came to power. Hitler. All right. Starring actors, producers, directors, Jonathan Roumie, The Chosen. My son and I watched like 2 minutes of The Chosen and we lost interest fast. And Maria Vargo, Faustina, Messenger of Divine Mercy. I do not want to see Faustina, Messenger of Divine Mercy, along with a devoted cast of 19 others. This is a this is a nice little passion play production. This film presentation of the theatrical production movingly recreates the final moments of Jesus' early ministry as a teacher through his crucifixion and death. Through his crucifixion and death, we call it the torture and murder by the Roman army. The play has been seen by thousands worldwide, not only as a live performance, but also in live streams and televised broadcasts. The problem is they filmed this in a desecrated building, a Presbyterian church. Why would you have a Catholic movie in a Presbyterian church? No. Bad. Call me nitpicky or whatever, but if you're going to do a Catholic passion play, do it in a friggin' Catholic church. I mean, come on. Are these people so dumb that they think Christians are all the same and we can all have one big ecumenical play in a desecrated building? What? No, never. That's the only objection I have to this. And it's a very minor objection, I might add. So I'll have to give this one 4 out of 5 stars. The other great thing about this, besides more accurately portraying the final days of our Lord and Savior, Christ, who was tortured and murdered by Roman soldiers. This is much more detailed than the 30-minute documentary Triduum, a Spiritual Pilgrimage. That's why I'm rating a little bit higher. Okay? But I'm still not giving it 5 out of 5 stars. This one. Because, like I said, I got a problem with the venue. Now, you can call me nitpicky. You can say that I'm complaining about nothing important here, and you might have a good point. You might. But it's my channel, and I'll complain about whatever I want, whether you like it or not. Yeah. Anyways, we got Under Siege 1992, number one on my list. Then we got Peyton Island 1961 and Whitefire 1984. Those are the next three coming down the pike. The Last Days, the Passion and Death of Jesus the Christ. TV movie from 2021. Another great thing about this that I have to mention is that it has zero ratings on IMDb. Zero. We like below 50. This one has 0. The Big Donut. We look for the Big Donut on IMDb, and this is the Big Donut. Another reason to watch. Okay, more like this. Jonathan and Jesus. Heart of a Servant, the Father Flanagan story, which gets a whopping 9.7 out of 10. Are you kidding me? I've got to see that. Heart of a Servant, the Father Flanagan story. The third more like this is The Last Days of Jesus. And then we got Jesus Revolution. What is this? Jesus Revolution. All right. So like I said, no ratings, no user reviews. Release date, April 2nd, 2021. Country of origin, United States. It has an official Facebook site. Language English. Production companies GK Chesterton Entertainment, also known as GK Entertainment. And it's in color. So the things we like about this, number one, it's a passion play. So that's something you've got to consider. The details are very good. It goes into Peter chopping off the jailer's ear for no apparent reason. Goes into it goes into some of the betrayal. Yeah, it's pretty much the nonviolent teachings of Jesus in this one. Kind of surprised me. But then again, it is a passion play. So you would expect it to be very close to the gospel here. You wouldn't expect it to veer off like Triduum, a spiritual pilgrimage. Although I did enjoy seeing the locations in the Holy Land, it sure beat the heck out of Father Ilo's slideshow. The timeline and the story kind of jumped around. From passion, death, and resurrection. How do you fit all of that in 30 minutes? It's better to just focus on the passion and or even get rid of the death part. Anyways, just my 2 cents worth nothing after inflation. So I got mediation on the 15th, and I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not expecting anything miraculous to happen out of this, but anyways, I was a little disappointed with the whole process, the way it's being handled, and but I do have faith in my attorney that he's going to turn a corner at some point. keep telling myself. There's got to be a point where something happens in my favor. And I'm sure my attorney will bust his arse during the mediation. So he's actually going to become a mediator himself, which is impressive. I thought, dang, you're a 65-year-old dude and you can work 80 hours a week. He's a cool guy. I like him. His hair is kind of messy, and he doesn't dress in a 3-piece suit, but he's kind of your typical San Francisco guy, I guess. He's kind of cool, dude. Somebody that you'd like to like. Somebody that you'd like to buy a couple drinks or invite to a cocktail party. This guy. Yeah, he's pretty cool. I actually referred him to one of my church friends who's kind of going through the same kind of mess. And he didn't get a phone call, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I try to help people. Nobody wants help. I tried to call my friend from Santa Rosa, the one you saw in the last video, and he said that I was gossiping. Well, that's not the first time I've heard that, but still, I mean, come on, lighten up, dude. This guy is like, oh, and I'm not. We're not even allowed to call him a guy. He's a man. I spell that M-A. He's arguing with the bagel lady at the pit. He's arguing with the bagel lady at the picnic. Words that are allowed in the English language. Words that are allowed in the dictionary. And if you use the word gay or queer, he's going to lecture you about that too. How those two words have been subverted by the English language. And I'm like, come on, dude. I thought I was nitpicky, but you. All right. Anyways, he doesn't want to talk to me. He just brushes me off, says, I got to go. I got better things to do. All right, go do your stuff. I don't care. I wasn't gossiping anyway. I was just describing how people in the Catholic community tend to get upset about little things instead of looking at the bigger picture. That was my point of the whole discussion. Okay. And this guy's, he doesn't want to hear me. He says I'm pointing fingers or something. I have no idea. I'm just saying that people have their heads in the sand. They need to follow the teachings of Christ. They need to get closer to Christ. They need to carry the cross. That's what the whole point of being Catholic. And this guy doesn't know any Catholic dogma. He doesn't even call himself Catholic. But, he goes to church. He goes to the Latin Mass every Sunday. That makes him special. Oh, man. I got a lot of work to do with my friend from Santa Rosa. But he is, the one thing that I will say about him, he is a great movie buff. And he does have great taste in movies. He likes Theater Blood. He likes District 9, those kind of movies. He likes Repo Man. What else? These kind of movies, he's into the cult movies, and he likes the older movies. So he's definitely on my side of the movie watching spectrum, which is way out in the outer fringe, as evidenced by this one, which has 0 ratings on IMDb, 0 reviews on IMDb, and 0 Wikipedia page. Wikipedia pages are 0. So you got to admire that. Movies without a Wikipedia page or an IMDb page are definitely worth a look. So I highly recommend form.org, because you can look up the religious stuff. You can sort of pick up on the somewhat good stuff, but you can also be nitpicky and pick up on some of the mistakes that they make, just to test your own knowledge of Catholic doctrine and things like dogma, catechism, morality, things like the important things. You can definitely pinpoint what's going on in this passion play. Now, with the election of the Pope, Father Ilo he doesn't care who's going to be the next Pope, which is actually closer to my view, actually, because if we get another wolf like Bergoglio, then more people are going to see what's wrong with the Vatican, and they're going to gravitate towards the pre-55 liturgy and some of the teachings of the early Christians. That's even better. Even better than the pre-55 liturgy is the teachings of the early Christians during the first 300 years. So people do that because they're so disgusted by Bergoglio 2.0. Then we might actually see a resurgence of some sanity in the Vatican. There's still hope, because how many of those cardinals did Bergoglio just haphazardly elect? Like 100? Does he even know if they're loyal to him after he died? That's highly doubtful. But this whole left versus right false dichotomy thing, they're all missing the big picture, which is the nonviolent teachings of Jesus and the pre-55 liturgy. That's what they should focus on, not, do we need a strong conservative pope to keep the TLM under the auspices of the Novus Ordo Mass, which was what Father Matza said. So it's kind of ironic because I like Father Matza's homilies better than Father Ilo, but in this case, I'm going to have to say Father Ilo was correct and I was wrong. Anyways, that's probably not something that my friend from Santa Rosa wants to hear. So I'm not even going to bother to pass that along. But it's nice to hear two different perspectives, because then I can compare it to the sane approach that says, let's see the wolf's teeth and let's see the wolf's fangs, and that will drive people away from all the disasters since I don't know, the mid-50s. ever since Pius the 12th. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed my little rant on the Pope and the Passion play. I'm giving this 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was decent. We don't know the rating on IMDb because there aren't any. So if I had an actual IMDb account, it would be 10 out of 10. Laters.